Buenos Dias, Gunners Collective. Back at it, you already know. Like a motherfucking smack addict, right? And as you can tell by today's thumbnail, the game gets... I see you rolling, they hating, patrolling, they try to catch gun riding dirty. They're trying to be riding dirty, right? Motherfuckers, dirty politics. Prison politics, in a nutshell, sometimes can get a little sucio. They can get a little dirty, right? In a minuto style in direct fashion, we're going to talk about it. We're going to discuss dirty tactics, dirty politics, and the political reasons why some vatos get a career ender. They get canceled out. It's over. Bye-bye. Hasta luego. We won't see you no more. If we do, we're going to fuck you up again. Dirty politics, man. And there's a lot of different things and a lot of different ways this could come about. A lot of different ways people are played out of pocket when it comes to the dirty politics of prison. Now, of course, anyone that's never been to prison, let me give you the rundown. I know there's a lot of people that watch the collective that have been involved in prison, have been there, has familia that's there now, and it's a cold game, man. And I wish them nothing but Godspeed, the utmost respects, man. Do your thing respectfully, righteously so. Carry yourself like a professional and handle it. But at the same time, there's a lot of vatos that were once somebody that are no longer that, right? And I'm not going to say everyone doesn't fuck up, homes, and everyone is just, hey, it's dirty politics. These vatos are, no, so I was scared. Where were your antennas when the vato was, nah, none of that, right? Sometimes it's justified. Sometimes vatos need to go. Sometimes they need to get put on the burner and just leave them fucking boiling until eventually they evaporate, vato. But at the same time, I'm not dumb enough to not understand that politics play an intricate role into ruining the next man's life or ending his career as far as the gang life goes. Okay, I've been subject to that myself. So who better to hear it than from the fucking horse's mouth? Órale, caballo. Plain and simple, period. Every different group has a political makeup. Meaning, in prison, there's politics that are played. Okay, and I'm not going to go into the intricate details of certain group segments, policies, and directives, and politics, because Sasuke, this ain't the channel for that, homes. I'm not the fucking smartest guy in the sea, right? But at the same time, I know within the group faction that I was from, we had a lot of politics. And, certain things you can and can't do, certain places on the yard you can and can't go. We already knew when we hit a yarda who was going to function on that side of the yard with us and who wasn't. Okay, of course, over there you had the Southerners and the whites programming on their side, their bars, their handball courts, their area. And then you had the Northerners that programmed over here with, of course, the others and the Africanos. This was our side. Now, of course, everybody was to stay on that track. You could all walk that track, man, but you couldn't stop in anyone else's area because that posed a threat to the safety and security of that other group. And it can be misconstrued as aggression and you're trying to make a move. And Sasuke vatos are going to get off where they're mad at. And that's just how it is. That's the makeup of prison. But every prison is different. Every yarda is different. It's not going to be the same on every yard, but the basic political makeup is the same. It's racial. It's tension. Sasuke, it's crazy. Shit happens. It goes down, lickety split. But at the same time, in the inner workings of your own group faction, whether you be from the north, the south, the east, or the west, oh my, right? There's going to be some dirty politics that are playing, right? There's going to be vatos that are on that yarda that are not playing the game correct. They put in their quarter, pero hey, this shit ain't my quarter, right? They're not playing the game correctly. Instead of putting another fucking quarter and trying again, Sasuke, they're going to make it work. And then there are yards where guys have it to a T, homes. The program is functioning. It's up to par. The homeboys are like, oh. They're getting their march on, They're right on time. Okay? But when I say the inner workings of dirty politics and what happens in prison is, let's take this for instance, my case. I got to a yard where vatos were indulging. Okay, and when I first got to the yard, of course, they didn't have the hookup. We all got to the yard together. Vatos weren't indulging in hard drug usage, which is one of the politics that the Northerners adhere to. No, we have no tolerance for hard drugs. And that's stamped, Toms. That's a big policy right there. Of course, the reason behind it is you don't want vatos with clouded minds making stupid moves. You get a vato that's all sconted out or all got back. What's going to happen, man? He's not going to make the necessary, the righteous moves that, of course, is going to embarrass the group faction. You know what I mean? or he's gonna fucking disrespect someone or act out of character, and it could go crazy quick, all because this pendejo wanted to do a little shot of the sconce and be wild, right? Just doesn't work out. But anyways, so in my instance, of course, I try to rock the good rhyme, try to go out there like Charlie Holmes, we shouldn't do this, we shouldn't do that, open my fucking boca, and that's when dirty politics came into play. Okay, that's when vatos that were having it their way, having that feria, enjoying their best life, were like, we got to get rid of this old fucking Malcolm X type motherfucker that thinks he's going to come over here and do the right thing. So we're doing it wrong, but we're having it right. You know what I mean? And that's how they wanted to do it. And of course, you guys all know my story. If you haven't, tap into everywhere. It's all out there. I wasn't having it, and I did a little red on red. Quite contrary to what these babosos are saying, no, I was never removed, right? I removed myself from the situation by a motherfucking fist, a hard fist, and that was that. It wasn't good. It was red on red. Of course, again, that goes against the politics and the makeup of the group faction I was participating in. But hey, I felt like I was in between a rock and a hard place, and I chipped away at that piedra till it fell apart, and I got on down the road. It just is what it is. But many a times I've been where there's a lot of different things that are fucking happening. You know, I've seen a lot of, the numerous homeboys. Numerous, man. The numbers are outstanding, right? How do you say it? I can't call it. I can't even spell it. Word of the day, outstanding, right? I've seen numerous homeboys get removed or get played out of pocket just based on, maybe they're not from a bigger city, they're from a little old town, man. They ain't got no homeboys. Homeboys are thinking that they're a J-Cat, or they're not feeling their stilo, or maybe they got a fucked up tattoo of a fucking pipa right here with some fucking wings from the old school, and the homeboys are not liking that. Whatever the case may be, their name gets slandered, they get shit talked about them, and they get pushed basically to the side or out the way. They're not getting their due process. They're not getting properly educated. They're not getting brought within the fold just based on looks or any other thing, you know. And I'm not going to sit here and say there aren't some righteous homeboys from little towns that program with the best of them, because there's some hitters out from everywhere. There's hitters from everywhere. You know what I mean? And that's what I say, and I stand by that. But at the same time, I've seen it time and time again, and not just from our group faction at that time, others, you know, had to go through the same struggle and the same strife, the same plight is what I call it. But I also participated in some of that, okay? Meaning, let me tell you, man, I was in Tracy. There was a little homie that got there. He was from Stockton. Shout out to Stockton in a real way, Duso Nina. The vato comes from Stockton, and I remember, man, going to, that's a reception, Tracy, DVI. I remember going to, they had a common area, which was in the front, man, which was if you went to R&R, or basically you went to medical, you would sit all in this cage and they would have us there. Of course, there was no sureños at that time in this area because everybody in that reception was on site. So they had just a few homeboys. I was there chilling with the homeboy from Gilas, an older homeboy. He was, you know, we're just chopping it up. And we kind of knew each other or heard about each other. So we're chopping game. A couple other homeboys, you know, I can't recall their names right off the top. If I did, I wouldn't say them. But anyways, they're posted up right there. And the little homie's right there. And he's a first termer. You could tell, man, he's still wet behind the ears and not properly laced up, but he knows enough to strive. He's a young striver. You could see the iron look of the Eye of the Tiger. The remix. He's ready. Sasuke, he's ready. Watch out, Hulk Hogan. He's ready, right? And we're just chopping it up with the maid, bro. What you in here for? And he was merely in there for stealing a car and some other frivolous activities. Nothing real major, man. The Vato's a little thief, right? But he's there. And we're chopping game with them. And I remember him saying, yeah, he was doing 36 months with halftime. I was like, bro, you're going to go to some type of level 2 or a camp or something. Maybe because of your age, they might try to hit you with the level 3. If they do, it is what it is, man. Get down, do your thing. And that's what it is, man. He was a young righteous northerner. He was good with it, right? And then this is where the dirty politics came into play. There was a homeboy that was actually had the Yavis to that building who didn't particularly like this little homie. He felt that this homeboy was clumsy because he was a first termer. He had a cellie that was older that didn't give a fuck and wasn't lacing him up right. So he didn't know what to do during shower time. He didn't know where to go. During chow time, he didn't know how to act. There was just things that he wasn't getting with the program specifically to the T. Eventually he would have, but he wasn't given that due process. He wasn't given the chance, bro. See, me, always, man, when I had to give directives or anybody was up under me, which wasn't a lot of times, I'm not going to sit here in front, I would make sure that I encouraged them, I helped them, I was side by side, and we did it like that together, canalito. You know what I mean? That's just the way it was. But this other guy wasn't adhering to that fucking frivolousness. He didn't care, Holmes. The vato he felt was making us look bad. So on the first one smoking, he made this vato go in and do a removal, right? And the vato got life. Okay? Now, I'm not going to tell you the details on the removal and what happened because I don't know if he has get backs or whatever the case may be. But man, the poor kid got X'd out. All because the homie wasn't feeling him. I thought that was dirty politics coming into play. That's one of many dirty politic moves I've seen. Now, I'm not going to sit here and poison anyone and say the Norteños always have dirty politics. No, it's on an individual basis. It's all on that man. It's not the whole cause as a whole. The Norteño cause is a beautiful cause. The Sureño cause is a beautiful cause. At the end of the day, man, it's all about your people and striving for the betterment of each other and for that social status of equality. Plain and simple, period. And we just want ours, vato. That's pretty much how it is. But you get these rogue bandito characters every once in a while that find themselves in the right position and they get drunk with power. They think they're something they're not. Same thing happens here on YouTube. Yeah, I got 5,000 subscribers. I'm active now. Again, you're active? Saskia, don't matter if you paroled active, Holmes. You were on the stand. You ain't active. Bang, bang. Let that go. But that's what you have. You have individuals that feel some type of way and they get drunk with power and they start belittling homeboys, talking shit about them, and using the politics to twist and turn to benefit them and not the people in general. When it's supposed to be about the people as a whole, about the household, about the casa, about our safety and security, not about your fucking cantina and the 2 soups that you got in your fucking locker. It's not about that, but it seems to be about that. Okay, so now there's a lot of different dirty politics that come into play. You could be on the calles and you could be kicking it with the homeboy and maybe his old lady was giving you the stinky eye, right? And she was kind of feeling you and he's seen this and he caught this. And of course, he ain't going to say nothing to you, Holmes, because he's really a sucker and a half shell, right? He don't want that 4-piece extra crispy but a side order of a fucking ranch. So he ain't going to say nothing to you, but he's going to feel some type of way. And in his heart, Holmes, he's going to have hatred for you. And you guys find yourself in a position in the county jail or in prison, and he's maybe just a couple steps ahead of you as far as within the COC. And now, vato, it's payback time, right? He's going to get you and he's going to do everything to slander your character, your name, talking about how you were a dirty individual on the streets. You were trying to get at homeboys or ladies or whatever the case may be. Of course, without paperwork, in prison, paperwork is what talks, nothing else. But I'm not going to lie, man. That depends on where you are at. Vato could use those politics to play dirty politics. It's just like with the government, Holmes. It gets dirty on both sides. Oh, I'm over here, so I'm for the people. No, I'm over here, I'm for the people. So the game gets ugly. The politics are dirty, vato. You know what I mean? And I've seen a lot of people played out of pocket on these politics. And like I said, the business is not about that. The cause is not about that. But it happens. It happens time and time again. And like I said, I've been involved in it. When the little homie got stretched out, I was just like, damn, it's a cold game. And it's what happens. Some vatos feel a certain way about you, or they don't like the way you're moving aggressively, or the way you're not moving aggressively enough. And so I was like, hey, chip out. Hey, see that vato over there? No, not him. Yeah, he's a puto too. We'll deal with him later. This one right here, hey, watch out. I think he's striving. I think he might take my position one day. What can we think about? Yeah, he did do the Rice Krispie treat. Nah. Yeah, he got an extra tray. Yeah, he did that. Charlie Holmes. Nah. And he wasn't wearing women's clothing. He ain't De La Hoya. Watch out. They try to come up with any little thing in the book to try to cross the next man out. And I hear these stories over and over again. Yeah, bro, I got fucking whacked or I got removed due to dirty politics or due to fucking bad calls or whatever the case may be. And I sit there and I talk with these individuals and I'm like, I could see where it goes like that. Of course, there's a lot of authors that say that and they got an underlying truth to that. The truth is they're lying. You know what I mean? That's the underlying truth. They're lying because they don't want to feel fucking like their career ended because they fucked up. But hey, 9 times out of 10, they did fuck up, right? There's that one every once in a while where politics came into play and it got dirty. Now, another way that dirty politics plays into prison life is this. We've always known who the enemiga was. We ain't known exactly why, right? But we've known. If you, of course, are educated enough to look into your historia, to the historia of the fucking organizations that you run up under or the group factions, then you will know your history, right? And you're highly encouraged to educate oneself and to learn your historia and your cultura and learn different languages and prosper, homes, and educate yourself so you become a more solid mentally and physically type soldado. You know, so that way when push comes to shove and wartime comes, you have them tactics. But you know how to wiggle, homie. You know what I mean? You're not just doing the offense, defense. You know how to offensively progress in what we got going on. So it's highly encouraged, you know. Basically, it's mandatory. You're going to do it, puto, or else. Period. But where the political makeup is, you don't know exactly the reasoning why you're doing it half the time, you know, until you know. You know, when you know, then you know. But there's things that happened in the 70s, the 60s, the 80s that doesn't particularly pertain to what you got going on that exact day. You know what I mean? Maybe it was cold that night when the fucking politics were written, but you have to adhere to them. You know, and if you don't know them, then you can find yourself caught up. And there's a lot of different things that are played, you know, and shit changes. Shit changes, Vato. Don't think we're always gonna march to the same drum beat. So sometimes they like to, oh boy, hit a remix on them. Okay, sometimes the remix comes to play, and the best thing to do is to fall in line with the rest of the camaradas, the canales, the homeboys, whatever the case may be, whatever you like to call it, and roll, homes. You know what I mean? Same old two-step. Get your two-step on. Okay, don't try to do the four-step because then you'll trip over your feet. You're trying to do too much too fast. Just roll with the punches, homes. Smooth like Jello. Okay, not a Jello pulling pop. This ain't fucking Bill Cosby. Hey. You feel me? You just do your thing. But the politics are never going to stop in prison. It's something that goes on in every state, everywhere you go. It's just what happens. I don't know who thought of it, but whoever did, they're smart individuals because for the most part, it works, homes. It works to stick with your people and ride, and there has to be rules and regulations in life. So in life, there's things called laws. If you break them, you're going to prison, you know, or doing a haul, wherever the fuck you're going, depending upon your age and what you did and how stupid you are. That's what's going to happen. In prison, there's rules too. The administration has rules. So hey, you know what I mean? You can't do this. Count time. You got to sit up. Hey, when the fuck something cracks on the yard, you will be belly down. Watch out, vatos, belly up. There's things that happen. And then, of course, in the gangs, in the organizations, there's also rules. You know, it's always better to regulate your own people, you know, to keep your people not under your rule and thumb, but basically keep your people up to par, homes. It's up to you to educate them. It's up to you to make them that solid soldado so that way when wartime comes, they're ready. You got to keep your people ready so they don't have to get ready, you know, but at one point in time, you're going to have to get ready to stay ready. That's just what it is. So there's always going to be some type of political makeup. It's just like in the government where you have one side and you have the other side. No, Sasuke, we want this bill passed because of healthcare and this. No, we don't want that because it's not good for our people. You know, what's not good for the goose is not good always for the gander, right? At the end of the day, they're all fucking human beings and it's all the same thing. It's just two different arguments. And people are going to debate and the political fucking scheming is going to happen and people are going to try to play tricky moves and dirty moves. And you think the same thing doesn't happen in prison? Oh, yeah, it happens all day, every day. There's always vatos that want to be the mero. They always want to be that one, homes. And they're quick to slander the next man's name or throw a motherfucker under the bus or play dirty tactics, dirty politics to achieve the things that they want. Because at the end of the day, we're all men. And we're prideful men, especially the raza. I'm going to speak to the raza. Right now, watch out. Hey, Gavas, sit right there. Africanos, I got love, bro. You know, it's all good. Pero post up. Really, it was cold that night. Watch out. Raza. We're a very prideful people. We come from warriors, homes. We come from straight up soldados. Not saying these other two groups don't. I'm just saying us right here. Look at what I'm talking to you. We come from soldados, right? Warriors. It's in our blood to be an Aztec warrior. Go to any extreme. You know what I'm saying. Kid Frost said it. I'm fucking saying it. I think I'm a little realer than him. But what I'm saying is this. Trip. And everybody wants to be somebody. There's those very few, man, that are just willing to go in there and do their tiempo, roll with the punches, and get on out, man. Those are the smart ones. Those are the ones that fucking got their shit together. But of course, I wasn't one of them. I was a baboso. So me, I always wanted to achieve and be higher ranked inside the organization or whatever the group faction that I was in. Not ever saying I made it to the top because no way I didn't, right? But I was striving. I was moving and grooving, shaking and baking. I was trying to get there. And in doing that, I seen a lot of different dirty politics, underhand moves, scandalous things happen. You know, and I'm not saying, like I said again, the cause is not a scandalous cause. It's a fucking fire that burns within your heart. It's a lovely, beautiful cause, right? But at the end of the day, if you think some scandalous shit doesn't happen, then hey, I think you got your fools mixed up. Okay, no, Brenton Wood? You got your fools mixed up, man. There's always going to be that man that's going to fucking step on your head, Holmes, when you're underwater so that he can get out of the pool first. It's just life in general, not necessarily prison everywhere. Prison is just where it's dominant, and it's predominant because it's a life or death situation. You know, when you're in there, there's nowhere to run and nowhere to hide. You can't just roll it up and PC up, Holmes, without at least someone getting one punch. I guess every once in a while you could do like the fucking also, and go fake a heart attack. Yeah, that happens in life, right? But for the most part, you're going to have to take a fucking punch on the way out, okay? And I've seen it happen. You know, I've seen a lot of underhand things. I've seen people get played out of pocket. People get used up and abused up. And I've seen people get fucking set up and bamboozled and sabotaged and careers done. Young strivers, man, that don't know better because they fell into that political agenda. You know, look what's going on right now with this Fed-state split. And I don't like to speak on that too much, man, because there's a lot going on, man. And that's their fucking business at the end of the day. And, hey, I more power to them, right? But you got the young Northerners that are, which way do I go? Which way do I go? When it's very simple, you go where you're supposed to go, Holmes. You go where your heart leads you. Okay, and you figure everything else out at the end of the rainbow, Dorothy. You go where you're supposed to go. The norte is where you're supposed to go. Doesn't matter if you don't agree with this guy's agenda or you don't agree with this guy's agenda. At the end, the norte is one agenda, period, and that's the agenda you roll with. As far as the Sureños, you already know what it is, camarada. It's sur, and you guys are going to do that. You know what I mean? The Bulldogs, you guys been doing whatever you want anywhere. So do your thing. You know, I ain't mad at you. Every different group, Africanos, Kumis, Llamas, fucking Cripas y Sangres, oh my, right? They're doing their thing, you know? Everyone has their different fucking political makeup, okay? The Woods, of course, it's a very racial one. Doesn't mean that every Vato's fucking racist in the whole fucking crew, Charlie Holmes, but they're gonna adhere and do what they have to do so that way their life is not fucking taken and their breath, they're able to breathe another day, right? Period. Plain and simple. But what you have is Vatos that are like, fuck, bro, I don't know. These Vatos over here, they have good points, and these Vatos have good. Everyone's gonna have good points. Everyone's gonna have sour points. It's up to you as an individual to decide where you go from there. Okay, I can't sit here and make a like a high, make a high knee ho. You know what I mean? I'm not a magician. Sasuke, I'm not a fucking gypsy. I can't sit here and tell you what the future holds. Nobody knows what their future holds, because if they did, Sasuke, I'd be a billionaire kicking it with Elon Musk, flying to Mars. You know what I mean? I'd be doing my thing. And I'm sure you would too, right beside me or behind me, because I'm sitting in first class. But at the end of the day, no one knows their future, so you just have to roll. You just have to educate yourself enough and get a little bit of an understanding to know and be able to decipher. Use your street smarts, your fucking book smarts, your intelligence to kind of figure it out. You know, I can't sit here and push you one way or the other, and that is not my job as a grown man to tell you what to do. You know, get it together, baby. Figure it out, you know. Dirty politics, though. You know, avoid it. Is it avoidable? In some instances, it is. In some instances, it is. This is why you are told to be smart. This is why you are told to be up to par. Because usually if you are, in most fucking cases, not all, believe me, I know. In most cases, you'll be able to just fucking skate by. But there are some situations where, and some predicaments, man, that you can't foresee, man, and shit just goes down. And bang, bang, menudo. You know, and in that fashion. You know, you're going to be all on that yard one day, thinking it's all good, and the next day you're going to be in there like, it's over. You're leaking, and Vatos are over there tweaking, and it is what it is. So always adhere to and know your surroundings, know where you're at, know the political makeup, know what's going on, because the dirty politics are going on all around you. You know, I've seen it myself where Vatos were dealing with Gavas, man, knowing that we were not allowed to gamble with them, knowing we're not allowed to intermingle and really fucking kick it with them, you know, keep it professional. Hey, what's up, Wood? What's up, brother? And boom, 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 bang, bang, bang. Even though on the streets it's a different story, man, I have a lot of Woods that are my homeboys. I know in prison enough to know that Sasuke, these Vatos are on the other side. But of course, you'll have homeboys like, no, it's cool, bro. We're from the same county. I know that fool. Yeah, well, guess what? Then you have to book him then. You know what I mean? Like American me. But we shared the cuckoo many times. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter, Holmes. Guess what? Share this with them many a times. You feel me? But I don't really want to. Well, it's okay. You don't have to. Guess what? We want to, though. Right? And then that's just it. You know, it's not that you did anything wrong. In general, you did the right thing. You know, you felt a certain love for that individual in your heart. But there's politics that go into it. Politics that, bro, you have been happening way before you and are going to happen way after you. And you just have to adhere to them. It's plain and simple, period. I can't tell you why. I can't tell you how. What I can tell you is that's your best bet is just to go with it. Just go with it, Holmes. Just go with it. You know what I mean? Period. It's probably in your best interest for your safety and security. Sasuke, do you want to live? You know what I mean? Straight up. Anyways, at the end of the day, that's what it's all about. You know, I hope that this one message right here puts something in someone's head where they say, damn, I better do the shit the right way. I better wiggle the right way. If I'm ever in a position, there's younger homeboys, I'm going to help them, pick them up, homes, so they could dust themselves off and try again, right? Instead of fucking belittling them, homes, for your own advancement. Because eventually, homes, karma comes and will bite you in the nalgas. And you're going to find out, damn, homes, look at the little homie I was over there being hard on. He's over there fucking making moves with thugs. And I'm over here fucking making moves with Jotos, right? It's just not cool. It doesn't work out for you. Anyways, I hope that you move fast with a purpose. I hope that you got everything that you want coming to you. Remember, at the end of the day, man, it's all about going out there and striving, hustling for your people. Do dirty politics come into play even out here on the guys? Oh, yes, indeed. I wrote graffiti on the bus all day, every day, man. Hey, shake and bake those people because they're not fucking righteous. They don't got your best intentions in their heart. You know, they're just trying to divide and conquer. That's what it all comes down to. At the end of the day, whatever fire burns in your heart, whether it be from the north to the south or any other ganga, right? Do your thing, brothers. Do your thing. Just don't get caught up in dirty politics. It's not a good look, man. It's not a cool thing. It's always ugly for the gente. Raza, stand up, man. Like and subscribe. If you don't like this, hit it with one of these. Watch out. Watch it. It's in slow motion. Bang, bang. The gun.